Okay, so this is kind of a terrible business decision on my part because the Calgary Flames right now are playing a game against the Washington Capitals. It's in the middle of the first period, and look, early start times, I guess they're catering to the Washington audience even though the game is in Calgary, but this video is not going to go over the Caps and the Flames game. And I get it, we just made another video earlier on the channel talking about Flames news and whether or not they'd end up drafting Tej Iginla. So, Flames fans, y'all are eating well today on the channel. But today's piece of news is not really a good one. Because when it comes to the Flames, one of the biggest headlines for them heading into this Capitals game earlier today was the fact that they made themselves a free agent NCAA signing. Welcome to the Sea of Red, Sam Morton. They have signed college free agent center Morton to a one-year, two-way contract, and, of course, this is from earlier today, the details are posted in the graphic. The Flames have signed forward Sam Morton to a one-year, two-way contract with an AAV of $950,000. There also is a follow-up tweet saying that Morton's contract will begin with the 24-25 season. He'll be joining the AHL's Wranglers on an ATO for the remainder of the 23-24 campaign. So this is a really interesting detail, because you have to remember, this guy is not being signed on for 23-24. His contract that he just signed, 1 year, two-way contract, $950,000, it begins in 24-25. For now, we'll see Morton suiting up with the Wranglers on an ATO, not on some sort of an ELC. But the problem with this entire thing has nothing to do with the player at all, actually. I mean, Sam Morton's fine. 24 years old, July 28th, 1999 is the birth date, so he's turning 25 in the summer. 6 feet, 181, left-handed player, and this season with the Minnesota State University Mankato team, he had 34 points in 37 games played. He was in the NCAA for a long time, actually. He had spent 6 seasons in that system, split between Union and Minnesota State University Mankato, with a stint in the BCHL's Wenatchee Wild in between. Good to see Sam Morton, a local guy going through the Colorado system in his youth, eventually find himself in the BCHL and the NCAA. He went through the ringer in terms of his development, and getting an opportunity to play some pro hockey, get paid for what it is that he does, that's going to be pretty good to see. And I think for Calgary Flames fans, this is a pretty good leadership kind of ad. I mean, you're gutting yourselves a guy who has spent so long in the NCAA. He's bound to have picked up a few things. But the problem about this entire situation is the fact that Morton is going to be 25 by the time this contract that he had signed is going to kick in. As he'd said, the contract will begin 24-25. In that stint, he'll be 25 years old, which is why, if you go over onto Cap Friendly, this is what they ended up saying earlier today, that Sam Morton's Calgary Flames one-year ELC has been rejected by the NHL Central Registry. He is ineligible for an ELC since his ELC age is 25, which is greater than 24. The Flames will have to submit a new non-ELC contract. Now, Giannis Haka goes out there and says, wait, he's 24. The contract starts next season, though, so it's 25 only for that reason. His actual age is irrelevant. The NHL refers to ages using cutoff dates. Morton will be 25 years old on September 15th, 2024. Therefore, he is considered 25 years old by the league. So, because the Calgary Flames are signing a guy who is going to be 25 on an ELC that begins in 2024-2025, it's actually not allowed. The contract got rejected, so there are a few options here as to what the Flames can do. One, I assume they may have the capability of signing Sam Morton to a one-year ELC that begins in 2023-2024, meaning that he'll be able to play Calgary Flames games and AHL Wranglers games, but on this year's payroll, because currently he's 24 years old, or the Flames would have to sign Morton to a contract that begins in 24-25, but it's not an ELC. It would just be a regular contract, let's say 1 year, whatever, like, I don't know, X amount of dollars, $1 million a year, something like that. And I get it, there is room for conversation as to why it's a little bit different in that respect. If you go over to the regular Cap Friendly tweet, here's one of the replies here. What's the difference between Sam Morton and Andrei Kuzmenko? Because Kuzmenko was 26, and according to Cap Friendly, when he signed, it was an ELC. Non-North American players have until age 27. North American players are capped at 24 years old. So when you see a less than 27-year-old guy from the KHL or from Sweden sign a contract to play in the National Hockey League, sometimes they'll be signed as ELCs, like Andrei Kuzmenko last year. 1 year, $950,000, it was okay, even though he was 26 years old. Sam Morton and other NCAA talents, though, do not have that luxury. They have to go through these different rules. So for Morton, as we had said, the Flames have really... Okay, if you wanted to say 3 options, they may have 3. One, you could either sign him to a contract that's for this year, which would thus validate the ELC, but do you really want to do that and have a year burned off and have this guy onto your lineup? I mean, it's past the trade deadline, so if the Calgary Flames make the playoffs and they sign Morton, they wouldn't be able to use him in the postseason. Number 2, do you want to sign him to a regular contract that will just keep him around for next year, but it isn't an ELC, which changes the amount of money and the amount of time that the contract could go for, that gives him some extra negotiating power? Or 3, do you just want to forget about it? Do you want to sign this guy to an ATO with the Calgary Wranglers, have him play with the Wranglers for the remainder of the season, and then have him sign another contract, let's say, with just the Calgary Wranglers team? I'd feel like it'd be kind of duplicitous and slimy if the Calgary Flames went out there and didn't try to correct this wrong. They didn't try to give Sam Morton some sort of a rebound contract either for this year on an ELC or for next year that's not an ELC. Just because already making the social media post, going out there and saying, yeah, we're super happy to bring this guy on. Sam Morton was a 4-year vet in the Mankato system, and he did all this stuff, and he's been developing so long in the BCHL and the NCAA. Like, it's tough to really justify not giving this guy the contract. The Calgary Flames are going to have to do it. We're just going to have to wait and see what's going to happen here, because their ELC plans of signing him to a 1-year deal that starts in 24-25, hey, it's been rejected by the NHL Central Registry. And if you go over to Cap Friendly in and of itself, just go over to the profile here. Yeah, the contract, Sam Morton, 24 years old, left wing, he had signed a 1-year contract, but the thing is, the contract was rejected by the NHL. A new non-ELC will have to be submitted, and it says here it's unconfirmed. I'm not really too sure why it's unconfirmed, because if the NHL does have very specific rules about this stuff, okay, you can't sign your 25 and up year old North American players to ELCs, then okay, great. We know that it's not going to work. But for Cap Friendly, I mean, they already said it's been rejected, so we'll see where exactly the Calgary Flames go with this signing. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Calgary Flames and Calgary Wranglers acquiring Sam Morton from the Mankato system in the NCAA. He's been a pretty good player, but he'll need to renegotiate the contract, because this entire thing that they ended up giving out to him, yeah, it's not going to work. The ATO with the Wranglers is probably valid, like he'll probably be able to go over there. I mean, it's amateur, right? So he's not getting paid. But having him still be in the system, that's going to have to be worked out a little bit more, and the Calgary Flames have to do a little bit more research on this stuff, because, hey, the guy's going to be 25. You can't sign guys that are 25 in contracts that are ELCs during those years. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Sam Morton, literally the #1 trending player on Elite Prospects right now, and his rejected contract by the NHL. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.